Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the last day that I'm officially working in my job for a little while, and I was going to do something a little crazier. I got a lot of palettes I want to play with, but I thought let's do something that I actually wear to work all of the time, and Cranberry Eye, that is something that I wear all the time. I've got blue eyes. It's something that just makes them pop. I know a lot of it has to do with my shirt, which is something that my people who work for me will love. It says, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine," which is something that I say all the time at work. But to get my Cranberry Eye look, Cat's Pajamas. This is wonderful. I love this palette, so you'll see me using this. It's just something that, again, I use all the time. I get a ton of compliments on. So if you guys are interested in how I got this entire look, keep watching. Okay, so here I am. I've already pre-put some base down. I put Tarte Shape Tape in light beige, and then I'm also moisturizing my lips because I know I'm going to be putting on a lip product later. I usually do this step because my lips are notoriously dry and I need to drink more water, and that's just my life. I need to drink more water. All right, my absolute favorite palette, one of the very first palettes that I bought, Cat's Pajamas. As you can see, very well-loved palette. Going in with Okie Dokie, which is the all-over shade that I'm going to use as a base. Just something that I do. I constantly use this palette. So this is just always the look that I use. The shades that I use, you can see that they're very well-loved and well-used. I'm listening to Hercules in the background, so if I'm singing and things like that, that's what it is. My team is Hercules at work, so I felt like it's my last day. It's very fitting for me to be listening. So the muses are singing right now, and gotta love them. All right, now I'm going in with my transition shade, which is Bomb Diggity. Using that big fluffy brush. All the brushes, unless I call them out, just came from a random set that I have, or random sets that I've ever gotten. So I don't really have a name or kind of what to tell you to get other than big fluffy brush or less fluffier brush, more tapered, whatever it is. But just going back and forth to give myself a transition color until, again, I get the desired look that I want. But I do love this Bomb Diggity for almost any transition that I do. So even if I'm using a different palette, especially before I got that James Charles palette, if I needed a transition or an all-over base, I would reach for this palette and use Okie Dokie and Bomb Diggity just to kind of supplement if it's a palette that doesn't have quite as many colors. Now I'm going to go in with the color Kooky. I'm going in with a brush. This is actually one that I got at Sephora, but I've used it so much that I've rubbed off the number on it, so I don't even know what it is, but it's a tapered crease brush. And just going in back and forth over my entire crease. This is really the shade that's going to make it really look cranberry instead of brown. One technique that hopefully you guys can see is that I anchor my hand on my chin, which is another reason that I really like to do my eyes first, because that would ruin my chin makeup. So I anchor and then just kind of go back and forth with my hand, but I really anchor it down on my chin most of the time, just so I have a good base and I have a little bit more control. You'll see me do it a little bit more with my lid colors, and then when I get into my inner lid, I actually don't do it as much. I kind of hold my brush a little bit more perpendicular to my face, but generally when I'm doing the blending, I'm anchoring my hand down. As you can see my chin move a little bit as I pull the skin, which is not the greatest, but it is what it is. Yep, just going back in. I go back and forth between these colors just to make sure that the lines aren't too harsh, but then I always end up going in and making it a deeper color. But the back and forth, at least to me, maybe it's just a mental thing, helps me feel like I'm not having too harsh of lines when it comes to this look. All right, now I'm going in with a brush that I got with an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette in the color Quirky. Quirky is one that I use a lot more than the shade Out the Other. I was really hoping that Out the Other would have been like a really deep brown color, but that's really the only criticism I have of this palette. Everything else I absolutely flippin' love about it. Let me tell you, if you have blue eyes, you really need to invest in a really good cranberry palette or something that's got some really good cranberries in it, because it just makes your eyes pop. Yes, browns, golds, those all make your eyes pop as well, but that cranberry color against those blue eyes just almost give you this really intense vampire-y look, for lack of a better term. It just does. Here I am, just to kind of go over what my technique is. I pack it on, swirl it around, pack it on, swirl it around, just to give myself some depth and dimension. This is the one, it's a nice shimmer, it's a dark shimmer, which is going to make it really, really nice when I put on my first lid color, which is also a shimmer, but it's a much lighter version. It's almost like the little sister of this color. So it's something that I absolutely love. Yep, and it's called In One Ear. And just, again, using a flat brush to go in with on my lid. Yep, as you can see, I'm anchoring there with that color in that brush, anchoring on my chin. Just kind of put this all over. Again, this is a look that I do all of the time. I know these colors work well together. I know they look good on me, and it's always my go-to. I get so many compliments. Oh my gosh, your eyes look so bright. Oh my gosh, your makeup. When I'm wearing this color combination, and specifically from this palette, I know I'm gonna get compliments and I know I'm gonna look striking. So this is really, really one of my go-tos. I am a little nervous, however, to see how it looks when I have different hair, because currently while I'm recording this voiceover, I have red hair. All right, now I'm going in with another flat brush with the color Scatterbrain. It's a gold color, and the finished product with this, when you have the gold and the cranberry together, again, with the blue eyes, is just gorgeous. But back to my story, I now have like Merida Vibes hair color, and I'll be posting that video as well. But I'm excited and nervous to see how it looks with this eye look, because it's such a go-to of mine. But I'm really, really nervous to see if I even like it with the red hair color. What I'm doing here is I wasn't getting as much color payoff as I would like, so I did wet it down with just some tap water, and as you can see, it just makes that gold pop. So if you're ever using a shimmer or a glitter, not necessarily a glitter, but definitely a shimmer or a metallic, and it's just not having as much color payoff as you would like, try wetting the brush, whether you do that with water, setting spray, whatever, and you can just, most of the time, it will just intensify that color. So try that. If you're not getting nearly as much payoff as you'd like, try doing that. So here again, I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, till I get a blend that I like, and I usually finish that off by dragging the gold color across, but really just going back and forth just to make sure it's blended, and I'm using an up-close mirror just to make sure that blend is where I want it. But this is the go-to. That gold right into that shimmery cranberry color is a game changer. And I know I use that term a lot, but it is what it is. All right, now going in with the makeup wipe to give myself a cleaner line, and I can just hear people screaming at me. I can feel my boss going, Sarah, this is why you have wrinkles. Put down the makeup wipe, knock it off, stop it, stop it. I can just hear her. So love you, Jen, you're wonderful. All right, going in with my Laura Mercier hydrating foundation primer. My face was feeling super, super dry this day, so I really felt like I needed to give it a little extra love, and this primer is so good at it. It's got such a great smooth texture and just makes my face feel like it's getting the hydration put back into it that I've obviously been neglecting it. Again, need to drink more water. Going in with the Wet n Wild foundation. This is my go-to. It's inexpensive. I'm probably gonna go get some more foundations here pretty soon, order some from Ulta or something like that, but this is such a good foundation for the price point. It's wonderful. Today I'm using a Real Technique sponge instead of the Beauty Blender. It's probably about half of the price, if not a third of the price. And it's still really, really fluffy and does a really good job. So I'm not one who's going to spend less money just to spend less money. It still has to do a good job. So I'm not going to go to like Ross and buy one of their sponge sets and have it be hard as a rock and not feel comfortable on my face or hurt when I'm actually, bouncing the sponge. But this is just awesome. So a great dupe for the Beauty Blender. And actually a lot of beauty gurus like this sponge better because it's softer. So definitely go ahead and try it out. You can buy it in packs at Ulta and give yourself a little bit of a break as far as with a bundle. It's nothing too crazy, but still you're going to use it. So you might as well get it in a bundle, right? But just going back down my neck and making sure that it's blended. I didn't want to get too crazy with it because I didn't want to get any on my shirt because I love this shirt with the saying on it, and then also mint green. I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite colors. So yeah, just blending, bouncing. There it is. It's a boring part of the review. There you go, or the tutorial. All right, going in with Tarte Shape Tape. Again, in that light beige color. Went a little bit more ham with the triangle today, but it's fine. I blend the same. As long as you blend it out, you're usually pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and bounce it in with that corner of the Real Techniques sponge. Get in there. And then I go up my face to give myself a better clean line. Are you bored of my blending yet? Good, because it's not done. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. translucent powder. Went with this today because why not? It's a really good powder. I'm just going to lightly set my under eye just like I did in the previous video. Nothing too crazy. It didn't really feel like baking at all this day, so I'm just setting my under eyes just to make sure it doesn't crease nearly as bad as it probably already will because I've got all of the wrinkles from pulling my eyes. Now I'm just taking the excess that's in the lid and dusting it with a big fluffy brush. Now I'm doing this because the face palette that I'm going to be using today is super pigmented, and I want it to be able to blend with having a set of powder on my face instead of just latching on to whatever cream product that I have. So that's why I went with that technique today. Again, going in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Ash Brown. Now I said that this is not something that I'm super comfortable with. I'm relatively comfortable with it. I really like only using one product, or maybe two, so I really do like this pencil. Like I said, it's just as good as the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and it's a third of the price. But it's something that I really don't like to spend too much money on, but I have. I've used the dip brow, and the fan started bugging me, and then my background started to fall, so left that in. But anyways, so I don't like to spend too much money on my brow products. I used to have the Anastasia dip brow. That's not a problem, but it's in a dark brown because, like I said, my hair used to be like almost black, so all of my expensive brow products were in like chocolate or dark brown or something that went with that dark hair because I had dark black hair forever. So when I went for this lighter color, I just didn't ever buy a no dip brow, and I probably will here pretty soon once things go back to normal. Well, we'll see if I continue with this red hair color that I have now that I'm currently sitting with as I record this audio. We'll kind of see where I go, but I should probably get a lighter one. Luckily, I do have a brow pencil in Auburn, so hopefully that won't look too crazy. for today's makeup look with the red hair, but we'll be posting that. Don't you worry. You'll get to see how crazy I look. It's fine. So I'm happy with those brows. There you go. All right, now we're going in with this palette that I was talking about. It's from the Beauty Crop. It's called the Travel Tea Palette. Now I'm going in with the bronzer color in it, which is called Sardinia Sand. I probably mispronounced that, but I'm going in with that angled brush. And as you can see, I'm just kind of putting it on the tip and going in very, very lightly. It is super, super pigmented. So I'm trying to be as stippling as possible at the beginning and then kind of go in. It's not nearly as pigmented as some of the other colors in there. So you'll see me kind of change my approach, with this cheek, just because I realized that the bronzer is not nearly as pigmented as some of the other colors, so I can still go in. Now, when you're doing this technique, when you're trying to give yourself a little bit of contour, don't come too far down because you'll end up looking like a clown and like you're trying too hard, but just come down. I come down to a little bit past where my eyeline is, just to give myself more of a chiseled look. But my face naturally kind of does that anyways. I'm just like making it more intense. Going in with the bronzing brush on my forehead, just going to town. What I did is I kind of put it on the edge, the color on the edge of the brush, and went in and always go into your hairline. That's what I'm doing there. But I kind of put it on the edge and then blend it out with the entire brush. Going in for some chiseled jawline and down my neck to make my neck a little bit more defined, I guess. I really wanted to have more color on my forehead, so I went a little bit more ham with it on my forehead. But again, nothing too crazy. I don't like to look too out there. Now I'm going to go in with the blush, and the blush is called Granada. Well, after I contour my nose, of course, but I really wanted to talk about this Granada blush. It is super pigmented. I cannot stress this enough. If you get this palette, please dip lightly and tap, because the first time that I went in with this blush, I did not do it. I tapped, but I did not go in gingerly, and I looked like a complete clown. Like, I cannot explain how bad I looked. I should have taken a picture because it was pretty embarrassing. Luckily, you can go in with a beauty blender, the sponge or whatever it is that you used for your foundation, and kind of go over that to soften that. But even look how careful I was, and look how pigmented that blush was. So just be super careful. It's a beautiful color, but be careful. All right, now I'm going in with the highlighter called Sicily Sunset. Now this is a dupe for the one that I used in yesterday's video from the glow kit, the sugar glow kit from Anastasia, called Gumdrop, which is, I already hit pan on it. It's one of my favorites, but it's in this palette. It's pretty close. I was super excited when I saw it, but it's super close. And the whole palette from the Beauty Crop is like $25. You know, the Anastasia glow kit cost $40. So, I mean, just to find that dupe is wonderful. You know, it's one of my favorite things about, you know, FabFitFun is I get to try all these different products, and this is probably one of the best buys that I've ever done for it. And the other colors are pretty good dupes for that specific glow kit as well. I mean, Starburst in the Anastasia is pretty darn close to Santorini, and Butterscotch, I mean, Malta is pretty close. It's probably not nearly as gold, but it's real close. For my eyes, I'm using, you know, the same things that I used the day before, which is that Urban Decay Glide On 24/7 eye pencil in Smoke for my upper waterline, and then the Fierce Flicks for the upper lid. Now here's a thing that, you know, everyone is always scared of, you know, doing wing eyeliner or even just using an eyeliner like this. But here's the thing, and I learned this really from Tati, is that at the end of the day is a perfect time to practice, right? You're done with your day, you're about to take your makeup off. Why not practice? Why not practice doing a winged eyeliner then, or overlining your lips to make them a little fuller, or using a crazy highlighter just to see, so you can kind of practice your technique, your finger movements, your hand movements, how you're holding your brush, what feels comfortable for you, what looks good at the end of the day right before you take your makeup off. That's just going to give you a little bit more confidence to try it later on, instead of going, okay, it's a brand new day, I've got a meeting, I don't know if this is going to work, and then you just chicken out, right? But if you've already practiced that technique before you take your makeup off, you're going to feel a lot more confident. And seriously, that's what I did, is I just started doing that. And also, we've got a lot of time on our hands now, right? We're all at home, so why not try it now? If no one's going to see you, why not try it now? Everyone's changing their hair color. Might as well play with your makeup as well. This is a great time to get better at your technique when you don't really have anything else to do, if that's what you desire. Maybe you want to learn Spanish or write a book. That's probably a better use of your time, but if you're a makeup lover like me, this is a great use of your time. Going in with a mascara called Monsieur Big. I called it Monsieur Paul yesterday because I'm still on Disney brain, but it's called Monsieur Big by Lancome. It is a great mascara. I'm not putting any fake eyelashes on today because I kind of wanted you guys to see how this mascara transforms my eyes. And I don't usually wear fake eyelashes to work anyways. Sometimes I do if I really want to feel fierce, but not normally. I don't have time for it. Getting real up close and personal. Didn't you guys really want to just see what my nose looked like right in your face? I figured. All right, going back into this palette to finish off my eyes, I am going into the color Santorini with, again, just a brush that I got randomly, Santorini, to do my brow bone, just to give it a little bit more boom, wow, whatever you want to call it. This is something that I didn't do yesterday, which was weird because I normally do, just to give yourself a little bit extra. Now, this is where I was so excited about this palette. This color that I'm using for my inner corner, called Capri, they call it a chromatic pearl highlight. That's the perfect explanation for it. Like, it really is, which is a perfect dupe for the Space Baby and the Nikkie Tutorials highlighting trio. It is perfect. That is the absolute perfect dupe, and I use that in my inner corner almost every single day. I'm almost hitting pan on it in my Nikkie Tutorials trio. So the fact that I have a dupe for that, and again, $25 when this trio itself was $25, and I get a blush, I get a bronzer, I get all these highlights. I cannot say enough good things about this Beauty Crop palette. Now, the color that I'm using on my lips is Bare Minerals Matte Lipstick, or Liquid Lip in Matte, in the shade Boss. Love it. And it smells like vanilla. Who doesn't love that? And here is the finished look. I really love how my face looks when I have the cranberry color. It just makes everything pop, the inner corner, everything. This is something that I do constantly when I'm at work. This is my go-to all the time. When I run out of this palette, if I don't reorder it, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to find a dupe because I love the Cat's Pajamas. It is just the perfect palette for me. So good job, Laura Lee, with your first launch. I know not everyone loves it, but I absolutely love it. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more crazy looks in here. I've got my Best Life by Violet Voss. That is all of the glitters. So we're going to be playing with that a lot. My hair color should be here, if not getting here today. I am so excited to do that, to get some more red in here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. So like, subscribe, do whatever. If you're interested in more content, just let me know. And I love you guys, and see you all later.